Let's talk about some other things you can do with the transcript other than just going back through and listening through the media or reading through the transcript. Now, sometimes people need to rename their speakers, and in this video, we're going to teach you how to do that and why that's important. Let's first talk about the why. Sometimes when people have an in-person meeting, for example, let's say you start an in-person meeting on your phone, you pull out your mobile app, you start the note taker, and then you sit down and you have a conversation with the client. Well, if you or the client don't really say names during the meeting, then Jump's not going to know who is speaking. And in that case, when you go to the transcript, you're going to see the speaker names will say speaker 1 and speaker 2 or advisor and client. And the reason this is important is because when that happens, then your notes are going to be a little bit more generalized. For example, instead of it saying Aubrey paid roughly $3,000 per month, it's going to say the client paid roughly $3,000 per month. So your notes may be a little bit more generalized when Jump didn't know who is speaking. This is why renaming the speakers could be beneficial. If you go in, rename the speakers, and then reprocess your meeting, Jump's going to write out a new note for you, and it's going to be clear because you renamed the speakers. So let's talk about how to rename the speakers. It's pretty simple. You'll first just need to access the transcript, which again, remember, will show up here in the top right corner next to the lightning icon. Now, before we go over how to rename your speakers, let me share with you the same comment I shared in the last video about how to view the transcript. Remember, there are settings in Jump that allows account owners to limit the ability for users to access the transcript. So keep that in mind while you're watching this video. If you don't have access to the transcript, then it may be because an account owner or an organization that your firm is partnered with has decided to limit the access of the transcript. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to look into that or go through with you why this might be happening. Now, to rename your speaker, you'll simply go into the transcript and click on the bubble that's appearing above one of the sentences. Once you click on one of the speaker bubbles, Jump's going to give you 3 options. And the first option is to change the speaker. For example, let's say that Parker likes to spell his name with 2 R's. Well, we could click Change Speaker here, type in the correct spelling of Parker's name, and then select his name here from the dropdown. Once you have your speaker selected, Jump's going to ask if you want to apply once, so only apply to this one sentence at 57 seconds, or you can select apply to all, which if you do this, then everywhere where it says Parker with 1 R, it's now going to change it to Parker with 2 R's, which in this case would be what you would select. The other options for renaming speakers are to link the speaker to a contact, and we're referring to somebody in your CRM. So if you have an individual that was speaking in the meeting, you can go in here, click link to contact, and we'll let you search through your CRM to find the contact that was speaking. Once you select their name here, you can click link to contact, and then it'll link that speaker with that contact in your CRM. Now, this is beneficial because what this does is when you link a contact to somebody in the transcript, that links that person to the meeting. And then when you are in your All Contacts tab here and then search for that user, so we'll go ahead and search for the client that we just added, okay? That meeting is now showing up under past meetings. We have a whole video that goes over this contacts feature here, and this really ties into that. So definitely go watch that video if you want to learn more about all contacts. The last thing I'll say about linking a contact in your CRM to a speaker name is Jump can do this automatically for you. You'll just need to make sure when you're scheduling your meetings on whatever calendar is syncing into your upcoming tab in Jump, make sure that you're including the email address of the client on that event. So, for example, if this was a Gmail event, I would make sure and include the client's email here, and then Jump can use that email address to search in the CRM for that client, and then it will try and auto-connect the speaker to that client. Your third option for renaming speakers is to link to a Jump user, which includes selecting the speaker bubble, selecting link to Jump user, and then simply searching for somebody that is also a Jump user on your account. Now, once you select their name and click link user, now you've associated this meeting with that Jump user, which is helpful if you need to reprocess the meeting so the notes are more clear, it'll still help there. This is also helpful if you were using the global Ask Anything tool, which you can find in the Home tab. If you're searching for a meeting and that Jump user was in that meeting, then that helps Jump find the meeting for you and help answer your questions that you ask here. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.